Let's talk about it. The government is my baby daddy mentality. That is a topic for discussion today. With that being said, let's get into the clips.
I've said it before and I will say it again. The government is my baby daddy. The minute that they took my right away to decide if I wanted this little crotch goblin or not was the minute that they took over the role of my baby daddy. That's the minute they took on the role of paying for my formula, of providing food in my house, and for that tax refund. Because the government is our baby daddy. We love baby daddy Uncle Sam. Thanks for all your help. You make it so we can eat. And I will be using any government assistance that I can because the government is my baby daddy. Yeah.
We're living in hell of a times here where people really have no shame. The goal to come on the internet, right, and literally brag about bringing a child into this world with absolutely no resources, and to think that's okay. I just don't understand. I know a lot of people wanted to see TikTok shut down, but this is why TikTok is something special. People will literally upload their thoughts onto the internet, and you get to see this foolishness that people really believe. This video is kind of going to be a piggyback on a video I did yesterday where they talk about cutting benefits, cutting Section 8, and people like her need her benefits cut. You had no problem with laying down with somebody to create a baby. Knew this guy probably didn't have any type of resources, probably didn't have a job, probably didn't have anything. She probably doesn't have much of anything as well. And now you're going to be leeching off the government for the next at least 18 plus years. And it's just not fair to the taxpayers. You literally have people who wake up every day and bust their ass just to make ends meet. They get no type of assistance, no type of help. And then you have individuals that come online and literally basically bragging about, getting every type of service they can. And I'm sure she knows how to finagle and finesse to get the maximum benefits.
My sister made a video about how my whole entire family gets EBT. And everyone is calling us bums because we don't work and we live off the government. And we are proud of that. Growing up, this is what we were taught. We were taught to not have to work. We were taught to live off the government because it is there for us to use. And from what I could remember, it all started back with my grandparents. My grandparents used to get the paper, like the paper coupons to go and pay for, food and stuff like that. And that's when I was like, this is free money. Like, what? So living off of EBT is literally a tradition in our family. Once my grandparents passed away, my mom started, applying and she got approved for all six of us kids. And then, once my sister got older, she had her first child, she applied for food stamps and she got, like it was just like, a domino effect. One after another, we all got approved for EBT. And guess what? It's not going to stop there. Why? Because I have taught my children and I'm going to be teaching my grandchildren that they should do the same thing. They don't have to work. They could just have children, put themselves on EBT, get child support, all of that I do so I don't have to work. They could do it themselves too.
Again, I've done some videos, reaction videos on this woman's content before, and I'm not 100% sure if she's just trolling or is this really how she's living her life. But nonetheless, this is a good example because people really do think like this. They literally think EBT, um, Section 8 housing, they look at it as some type of generational wealth, which is really sad. They really think that teaching your children and your grandchildren how to play the game, how to finesse the system so you don't have to put a hard day's work in, they actually think that this is um, something honorable, something that you should really be passing down. And it's really sad. And this is exactly why we need term limits on these type of things because you have an able-bodied individual who's nothing stopping them from going out and get a job, two, three jobs if they have to. Again, if you want to have children, no problem, but you should be able to afford the children. You should not, the burden should not be placed on the taxpayer to take care of your child. We weren't there when you were laying down and having fun, and we should not be responsible for the next 18 years of this child's life. And then you're going to brainwash and indoctrinate them to use and abuse the system. So then this is going to go on generation after generation. I mean, it's really just tragic.
So y'all mad because I'm a single mother with 7 kids? I'm raising them by myself. Yes, I get child support. I get help from the government. I'm gonna get all the help I need, baby. Food stamps, $3,000 a month. You hear me?
7 kids. I'm sure it's multiple baby fathers that are paying next to nothing in child support. You would think after the first 3 kids, the first 5 kids, and you couldn't afford them, you would stop. But no, 7 kids, 7 lives that are essentially going to be ruined, 7 lives that are eventually going to be taught to abuse the system. And I mean, hopefully, maybe by the grace of God, one of them will be able to break the cycle. But I mean, again, like I said, when you have a mother like this, I mean, you don't even need enemies. I mean, you literally got an enemy from within, um, brainwashing you. Again, this is why the video I did yesterday is so important. We need term limits. If individuals knew, hey, I can only be on Section 8 for 2 years, 3 years, I only could get EBT for 2 years, and I have to actually be actively working towards a trade program or some type of degree or certification because I'm not going to be able to be on this forever, they would do differently. I guarantee you, if they knew that they not having popping out kids would get them a bigger tax refund, or in this case, imagine $3,000 a month in just food stamps. I mean, the average American is probably making about $45,000 a year gross. So that's about, let's just call it 50 grand, and let's just say 4 grand a month. So that's about $48,000 a year after tax. They're pretty much making the same amount of money which she's receiving in food stamps every month. That doesn't include what she gets for housing. That doesn't include any other perks or benefits that she's getting for sitting at home. And all she did was pop out children. And she makes more money, or she receives more money in benefits than someone who has to wake up every morning early and bust their ass and probably do a job where they got them doing 5, 6, 7 different roles for $40,000, $50,000 a year. We got to get these term limits in place ASAP though. It says day in a hold up. Let's bring that back. Day in a life. 24-year-old mom of 5 under 6 who gets $3,828 in food stamps, lives in a motel, unstable, gets government assistance, and has 5 baby daddies. Wow. It used to be a point in time where people had shame. You know, if this was your situation, you wouldn't want to put this and post this on the internet. But I mean, look at this.
Grayson, get your ass to the bathtub. Hurry up.
Living in absolute
Watch your
filth.
towel on the floor, Lele. Go put your goddamn underwear on.
Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah.
We really got to bring back shame, man. Again, like I said, I just never understood the mindset of a person who would want to commit treason against their own children. Why, if you know you don't have the ability to financially provide for children, why would you continue to want to bring them in a situation where you have to be dependent upon the government to take care of them? I just never understood the mindset of a person who thought like that. It's like it's evil in a sense. Again, let me know in the comments below. Am I off base? You know, am I tripping? Am I being too critical? Am I being too hard? Again, like I said, I just never understood it. Why you would want to bring children into struggle. Again, like I said, it's one thing to be struggling by yourself, but to have kids, and then especially if you have one or two when you know you're struggling, to continue to have more just for for some extra food stamps, it just never made sense to me.
I've said it before and I will say it again. The government is my baby daddy. The minute that they took my right away to decide if I wanted this little crotch goblin or not was the minute that they took over the role of my baby daddy.
Imagine you're a kid and at some point in the future you see a video of your mother circulating on the internet calling you a crotch goblin and talking about how the government is going to take care of you. I also want you to rewind the video and pay attention to when she said that. Watch how the child reacted, or watch what the child did when she said it. Now let's let her continue.
That's the minute they took on the role of paying for my formula, of providing food in my house, and for that tax refund. Because the government is our baby daddy. We love baby daddy Uncle Sam. Thanks for all your help.
You know, it's one thing to benefit from the system. It's another thing to benefit from the system while seeming smug, arrogant, and entitled. It's not cute. When I see stuff like this, it makes me want these people to not have the benefits they're having from other people's hard work. I also think it's interesting that our society has gotten to a point where people think it's socially acceptable to post things like this and seem smug and proud about it. I'm not seeing any talks from this individual about personal accountability or decisions. Funny how that works.
I agree with the brother 100%. Again, like I said, we have to bring back shame. The fact that people are so comfortable to actually post this stuff online and they don't feel any type of shame. It's absolutely wild. Again, like I said, it used to be a time where people used to be embarrassed to be on government assistance, embarrassed to have food stamps, the booklets. It was an embarrassment. Now we're at a point where people literally brag about it on social media. It is absolutely wild the times you live in.
A lot of y'all are government babies. Y'all got your grandma stayed in the green apartments. She passed it down to your mama. Your mama passed it down to you. You passing it down to your kid. Like this is a damn like this is a house that y'all own. Y'all are government dependent people. And that has changed so much because when I grew up, I didn't know that you supposed to pay for your own healthcare, you supposed to pay for your own food. I did not know that. I grew up thinking that, okay, I'm going to get this card, which is food stamps, and I'm going to get this Medicaid card, and they're going to pay for it. Growing up, I did not know that you were supposed to do this on your own. This is your responsibility. You are responsible for it. Why I didn't know that? Because my mama was a government baby. She couldn't teach me nothing besides how to do a food stamps and Medicaid application. Credit.
I just got to pause right there. Imagine your mom being an expert at filling out Section 8 paperwork, EBT paperwork, but can't teach you anything else in life to the point where you think that it's actually normal for other people to pay for your food and subsidize your housing.
Building job history, educating yourself on owning anything. She didn't teach me none of that. She couldn't teach me none of that because she wasn't doing none of that.
Again, like I said, parents like this, I mean, you don't even need enemies. You do not need enemies when you have people in your life that are already literally your own flesh and blood. Your mother who gave birth to you is sabotaging you. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know how you feel about this government is my baby daddy mentality in the comments below. We're back. We're going to be posting regularly. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.